Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. I am here to review Monk Season 4. Now this review is going to be quite short, surprisingly. With the first 3 seasons I had a lot to talk about, a lot of stuff to discuss. Sadly, this season is different because although it is the worst season so far, it was entertaining all the way through, and, it wasn't bad. Like, there isn't a lot of, stuff to make points about, like in season 2, where he wiped off the autograph, and I was like, what the hell is he doing there? There was a lot of stuff like that in season 2 and season 3, season 1, but in this season, it's more so just talking about how the show has sort of become a mainstream thing, unfortunately. And that's what I think is the hugest problem with the show now. Because it used to be, before that biatch Sharona left, the problem used to be just that it needed one more person to be in the cast, so that there could be this full set of characters. Well, now it feels like there's a full set of characters, but the show feels mainstream. It feels like it's been dumbed down. It feels like a lot of the episodes are unmemorable. I can't remember them unless I look them up. I can't remember the villains. I can't remember the episodes. It's like, it's sad because I love the show, and I love episodes in this season, which I'll talk about. But overall, I was just kind of left feeling disappointed. And that especially came through in the finale, where it was basically a cartoon episode, and it was very predictable and very lame. And you guys know also that I've been very critical of the finales. And in this season, we got another shitty finale. And this finale is actually the worst one so far. It manages to not feel like a finale. It manages to not be intense, like at least the other 3 were intense. Like the first one, that was really intense. The second one was pretty intense. The third one, this one is very laissez-faire. Just, very laid back type of episode. It just felt like, okay, here's Monk going to jury duty. That's what it felt like. It didn't feel like a finale. Sorry, I just got a message notification. Sorry, that threw me off, I'm like Monk in terms of that, I get distracted easily, which is a problem for when I'm trying to do work. So I can empathize with that all the time when I see that. Anyways, this season, it's sad because Natalie is awesome. She is so awesome. She fits like a glove in this show. She is so cool, and she's such a great character. Like, when I talk all the time about bad female characters, bad agenda female characters, Natalie Teeger in Monk is the perfect example of a good female character. She is fantastic, and just the way that she pushes Monk, and then she helps him out. She's so smart. She is awesome, and I love her character. I mean, if anything, out of this season, number 1, it's the darkest season, and we'll get to that. But number 2, this season really highlights Natalie, I feel like, more than anything. And that's another sad thing, is that I'm sorry if I sound negative too, because I'm genuinely just being, like, honest. I'm not trying to be like, I don't like that. I'm just throwing stuff out there that I'm honestly thinking. The fact that the other characters are highlighted so much means that Monk isn't highlighted. And Monk, a lot of the times, they resort to making him the dumb guy. they make him the guy who he's the smart guy. He makes these shitty mistakes because of his problems, and that's it. Like, they don't have any other levels to it this season. And the other seasons they did, and it actually, like, was really deep and really felt like, okay, this is a 3D character. But in this season, he's basically a caricature of himself, almost. And, there are some great episodes, and let's talk about those. There was one that really made me emotional, and it's probably been one of the most, like, I don't know, it was something completely unexpected, and it was Mr. Monk Goes to the Office. And this episode, just the way that it portrayed Monk as this guy. Well, actually, I just completely contradicted my own point. I just realized. I'll just say the majority of the season he felt like a caricature. Okay, not every episode. Damn it! I know I sound like an idiot. Oh fuck! But this episode, it was phenomenal. He goes to the office to work like an office job, a desk job, and he loves it. And it's like, who the hell would love to do that type of a job? Oh, Monk would, of course. And just seeing him build a relationship with this group of people, and then and then he fails them because of his problems. And it's really heartbreaking, and really I could empathize with that, just wanting to fit in and just not being able to fit in. And just, it was so heartbreaking. And then even at the end of the episode, it was like he was walking out of there and people were laughing at him and talking about him. And he made that point at the beginning of the episode, like, that's all people do. And it was just really, really, like... it's sad. It really it hit a different level for me, and so I loved that episode. It was just amazing, and I'm probably a little biased towards it because it had bowling too. They had a big bowling scene, and of course that's what led into the heartbreaking stuff. And the villain was pretty good too. It's a pretty smart villain. Just not that good. What were the other episodes? Oh, they had one where he was sick. That one was really good. Oh, okay, I know. The Halloween episode is an A+++++. That Halloween episode with him and his brother, and they're spending Halloween together, and they're expecting their dad to show up, and there's this guy in a Frankenstein mask going around causing mischief. Oh god, I'm almost having like an orgasm over how good that episode was. It was the perfect Halloween television episode. It was so good, and it was just so, like, such a great, like, Halloween-y episode, and it was so fun, and the villain was good, and he was scary too. Like, he was really, like, you didn't know what he was gonna do. He was scary. This episode should have been the fucking finale, because it was so much like a finale. I mean, these people, they're really bad at finales, and well, I already got to it. I keep saying that too. I'm gonna get to that. Fuck me. There's also another episode. Was there a winery one this season? I think there was. That one was really good too. That one was really that was good. A lot of that was the issue. This season was very, very all over the place. Season 3, it had a bam smack on the ground plateau at one point, but it picked itself back up. This season was just like all over the place. And I think that's sad, because this is the season where I thought it would be the best season, because Natalie's here. I mean, Natalie's perfect. There's literally the writers are good writers. It's just that they need to focus and make it not so predictable, and make it not so mundane and mediocre, because I'm having trouble remembering episodes to talk about them. With seasons 1, 2, and 3, I didn't have that trouble. And let's talk about something else. There was one episode this season that was so terrifying. And so the best episode was Mr. Monk Goes to the Office. That one was funny and sad and depressing, and it was just perfect. It was just everything. It explains Monk perfectly. There was a really bad episode, too, that made me feel like this was going more mainstream, and that one might have been the worst, and it was the one where we got to see Little Monk. It was so goofy and so childish. It felt almost like a Hallmark movie. And to see this Little Monk storyline where he likes a girl and then she gets with the douchebag guy instead, but he's like a quote good guy, and there's a bully in school, ugh. I don't want to see that. That was just so been there, done that. I mean, come on. We didn't need to see Monk as a kid. We didn't need that. That was too much. Monk's character should have more of a mystery to him in regards to that. We shouldn't see in detail these childhood moments like with Sean and Psych, where his childhood very much defines him, because he is a child. He's a grown-up child. But Monk is a grown-up adult with a lot of problems. So, but back to the worst episode of the season. There was an episode where Mr. Monk goes to the dentist. And this episode was probably one of the most terrifying television episodes I have ever seen. It was so... Oh... It was so scary. It was so just hard to watch. At some points, I closed my eyes. I gasped. I covered the screen. That's how just that it was. It was so uncomfortable. And then Jon Favreau played a really good dentist. That was pretty interesting, seeing John do that. That was nice, but everything else about the episode was just so... from the minute the episode begins, you have a heist. It's very uncomfortable because they're trapped. They're obviously going to get killed by this crew of people with big machine guns, and it's that's really uncomfortable to watch. But then immediately after that, you got this guy, and he has a toothache, and he's just in severe pain, and it's just, it's so uncomfortable. It is so, And then there's a torture scene at the end, and I was, oh God. I give this episode an F-/B+. It was an entertaining episode. It was a good episode, but it was just really, really hard to watch. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. It was something else. And there was another episode, too, that was bad, but I don't want to talk about that one. I don't know why I mentioned that either. I would rate this season... Sadly, this season is the worst one so far. It's... Unfortunately, because it has some great episodes, and it has all the ingredients to make a great show. And let's just talk about another A+ episode that I just remembered. There was an episode about the captain, and it's a very controversial episode because a lot of people think that it's stupid and that it's cartoonish, it's implausible, all that stuff. But then a lot of other people just go with the emotion. And that's where I went with this episode. I hated it all the way through until the end. Because there was a part where basically it's about this policeman who tells the captain he's having an affair with his wife. to piss off the captain and make him mentally unstable and violent towards him. And the captain just falls for it, and it's really kind of dark how the captain just sinks to this low of doing these things and acting so evil, even though he's supposed to be this like good captain guy. It's like he's got an evil side to him, quote unquote evil. It's just terrible, negative, like violent side. And they have this lineup scene that's played off as a joke. Well, the captain comes in and he sabotages the lineup, and he then fights with the guy who says he's having an affair, and it is just a disaster. And it felt like, this is the captain. Why in the hell is he sabotaging this lineup? What a fucking dumbass. That pissed me off. But then came the ending of the episode, and it was basically revealed that his wife wasn't having an affair. She was meeting with a divorce lawyer to see about divorcing him. And that was the most jaw-dropping moment in the series so far. It was so out of left field. It was so unexpected. I was just in complete shock. And it was so sad. And they went from being funny kind of the whole episode and kind of uncomfortable to going 100% sad. And it just worked perfectly. And of course you ended it with like, I don't know, this great line from the captain where he talked about like when God closes the door, he breaks your heart or something like that. Like, it was a really just but that's not Monk. So this whole episode that was fantastic, it's all about the captain. So it's like I still give it an A+. But this season as a whole is almost like going to the store and getting a pre-made deli sandwich. It's very mediocre. It is very, very by the book. Unfortunately, it feels like the show is going to get worse and worse and worse. Because it feels like now that we're in season 4, we're in the mainstream. And, I said that in season 2, it felt like we were getting to the mainstream. Season 3, we're getting to the mainstream. Now season 4, we're in the mainstream, sadly. That is very sad. And we still have that fucking god-awful theme song. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there. Shut up. Nobody cares about it. Stupid jungle. It's San Francisco. Get your ass out of there and put back the original theme song now. So I'll be back to review Monk Season 5 shortly, whenever that happens. I usually watch an episode a day. It's like a nice little treat. I do all this work throughout the day, and then at the end I watch a Monk episode. Yay! So please like this video, comment, tell me what you thought of Season 4, because I remember seeing in the Psych fan Facebook group that, like, people thought that this and Season 3 were, like, the best seasons, and, yeah, and then also subscribe to our channel for more Monk reviews, obviously. Sorry about that one, guys. Goodbye, everybody. See, I don't know why that happens to me. At the worst moments that happens. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.